In this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into formatting variables. Formatting variables basically just means that arranging them in a certain way or a certain format. Alright. And for that, firstly, we'll have to go to the variable section. And in that, we know there are two types, there's built-in variables and there's user-defined variables. So one thing to remember is that formatting variables only works for user-defined variables. Suppose if I were to click on this, and if I were to go to edit, you can see there's a format value option. But the same thing, if I went for built-in variables, there's no such option as format value, so it only works for user-defined variables. So I'll just create a new variable now. Let's say we take a constant variable, and constant variable, as we know, that the value remains same throughout, right? Hence the name constant. So I'll just write some random value here, right? As you can see, I've used a mixed naming case here. There's some lowercase, there's some uppercase, and value. Save. And I'll create another variable which is URL, and query, suppose if I want something like test, URL test, right? I've created these two variables. I'll just go to preview now to find them. If I connect, it will open our site in a new tab. And yeah, if I just go back to summary now, and in variables I can, yeah, the constant, there's the value is some random value here, text that we entered, and test is undefined since there's no test parameter in the URL, right? But now let's see the use of the variable formatting, right? Suppose if I were to go to our constant variable, and I don't like the naming case that is used, right? So what I'll do, I'll go here, format value, change the case to lowercase, so everything will be in lowercase. Save. And similarly for test, if I don't want it to show as undefined, if I want to put in some user defined values, so I'll write convert undefined to, let's say, some value, right? So we'll save this, and now where it's showing as undefined, this should be replaced by some value, the text that we had put in. So now I'll just go here, I'll refresh the page, right? New content. No, I'll just launch the preview mode again. Yeah. Now if I were to go here, and yeah, as you can see, the constant random value thing, it changed to some random value here, which means the case changed to lowercase, whereas here if you see, it was mixed case, right? But in the format value we said change case to lowercase, so it changed to lowercase. And similarly, where this was showing us undefined because there is nothing, there's no parameter called test here, so it should show us undefined. But since we had put the format, we had put the formatting that you should convert undefined to some value, it shows us some value. So basically this is all there is to formatting variables. I mean, there are more types that you could format a variable. For example, you could convert null to something. Suppose now how we converted undefined to something, you could similarly convert null to something. Like if it shows null, instead of null, if you wanted to show something else, then you can do that. Similarly for true, for false as well, right? So this was basically your formatting variable, and we saw it can be used for consistency purposes. If you want everything to be in lowercase, then for that it could be used. Or if you want to set some user defined values where it's showing null or undefined, it could be used for that as well. So yeah, this was pretty much all for the video. Thank you.